Barcelona with the Swiss national record, 60.09 a few weeks back. Yoron Okombo, just 20 years old, number 9 all-time, ran 58.48 when second at RAC. Kamworor, the twice champion, going for the hat-trick today, the defending champion. More of him later. There's Yima, the Ethiopian, second in the RAC half marathon. Lil Gebreselassie of Ethiopia, world number 2 at the marathon this year in Dubai, the second fastest ever debut of 2:04. And Aron Kifle we saw just then, who was in the World Cross Country last year, just 20, but huge potential. 7th in the World Championships, 10,000 last year. And away they go, the men. Not a great deal of countdown for that one, unlike the case for the ladies. And this big field, 160 men from 71 nations, pours across the bridge in front of good crowds. Now, once they have passed the athletes, and of course there's the mass race behind, some almost 15,000 involved in that. The crowds will spread out around the course and support the athletes as and where they can. I was talking to a friend. Well, we, of course, still have fabulous racing unfolding here on the streets of Valencia in that men's competition. And they've been moving now for some 45 minutes. Kamworor to the fore. This is what we expected. This is what we're used to. The man who every year since 2014 has lifted a world title, alternating cross-country and half marathon. Last year he took a marathon, a cross-country title in Uganda. The year before, of course, stormed to World Half Marathon gold in Cardiff. In 2015 it was World Cross-Country gold on the fields of China. And in 2014, gold in the half marathon on the streets of the Danish capital, Copenhagen. But he looks strong, Paula. Yima and other Ethiopians tucked in behind him, but he is in charge. And they are racing now, however slow the first 5 or 10 kilometers may have been. There's no doubt now that Geoffrey Kamworor has thrown down the gauntlet and is testing this field. Well, these are the splits of 15K, still quite a big pack, but I think maybe it was going through 15 kilometers which set the paper alight for Kamworor. He seems to have almost got an electric shock at that point. Within the space of, what, about 2 minutes, we've gone from a pack of 4 or 5 down to single file. And Geoffrey Kamworor, who came here, and almost uncharacteristically for him, Paul, has been quoted in the last couple of days as saying, I'm fine, I'm in good form, I'm happy to race here, I'm looking forward to it. It was uncharacteristically confident and ebullient in a way from Kamworor, who's normally a very smiling, gentle character. Yeah, and that was a dangerous sign for the opposition. Well, this field incorporated or included 12 men who have broken 60 minutes. Only 2 of them this year. But it was a strong lineup in the men's race, in depth, much stronger than the women's. 11 national record holders in this field. But Kamworor, even though it's been a relatively tactical affair, has blown them apart over this last kilometre. There he turns the corner. In second place is Yima, then Cheroben, Kifle. Moller now has dropped back to 5th place as we get this shot behind the athletes in 3rd, 4th and 5th. We've been doing a lot of these shots, and it's nice to see. You get a really good idea of the gaps that have developed and the sight of the racing athlete. It almost puts you into their shoes.
Yeah, no, it does, and you can really appreciate the pace that they're moving at and just see how quickly those gaps, and that must be really demoralizing to be running as hard as you can and to see Geoffrey Kamworor just moving so easily away from you up the road.
Well, and these are fabulous athletes too. There's Cheroben in 3rd place. Now, he's a 58.40 man. I mean, let's not forget, he's the 3rd fastest man in history. On paper, he's quicker than Kamworor. But not today, not so far anyway. 50 minutes on the clock, 50 minutes 30. And Geoffrey Kamworor, with that slight forward lean of his, we're so familiar with it from track championships and cross-country and roads. Valencia City Hall being passed by... Not sure if that's Plaza del Torres. Spain play Germany in Davis Cup in a couple of weeks here in Valencia. Kamworor, though, catching one or two of the back markers with the ladies, even though the men started 25 minutes behind the women. And the crowds here are thick and loud and very supportive of Geoffrey Kamworor. Many of them will know him, I'm sure. This is a man, remember, who has raced the great Mo Farah again and again on the track. Finished second in 2015 at the World Championships over 10,000 metres. Then fifth in the World Championships 10,000 metres last summer, when he didn't have a great year in 2017 on the track, although the place times in London over 10,000 metres were quite supreme. The fastest times for position in that 10,000 metres race. But Kamworor comes here with everything up his sleeve, Paula. He's got a great 5,000, 10,000 metre speed. He's got enormous strength at half marathon, and he won the New York Marathon last November. He's great on the country. I mean, he has got everything. And in the modern era, there are not many athletes who tick all those boxes like Geoffrey Kamworor does. I love the fact that he sticks with the country when the Gebre Selassies and Mo Farahs don't really do cross-country.
No, but maybe that's because they're not as strong as he is over the cross-country. And I think he definitely feels that that is his surface, the road is his surface, the half marathon is his territory. I mean, on the track, he's vulnerable to the likes of Mo Farah, who can maybe just cling on to him and finish faster in the closing stages. But on the roads, it's a different story. On the roads, he can really make it his territory, and cross-country is very similar to that. So he can make people hurt out there. He holds more cards over this surface, and you can see that by the dominance and the way that he's stamping his authority on the rest of the people in this race. The men haven't been able to go with him, and 2:53 for the average kilometre pace doesn't really reflect the way that he's run this race. No. And how hard he's surged in the middle.
I bet you his average pace over the last 3 or 4K has been a lot quicker than 2:53. That average pace we just saw, by the way, was his average pace since the start of the race, and we know for a fact that they went through 5K in 14:31. Uh, 10K they reached in 29:28, so even that was on the slow side. It meant they ran their second 5K, not much inside, 15 minutes, these men. Kifle suffering now. This is more like a track race, really, the speed they're closing at. Cheroben in third, Yima in fourth, or in fact, has Cheroben just moved through to second now, I think. Has caught Yima. Hasn't got Kamworor in his sights, but he has got a silver medal in his sights. Strange running action, too, with that sort of flailing left arm from Abraham Cheroben, the 25-year-old from Bahrain. Originally born a Kenyan, began living in Bahrain in August 2015 and got his Bahraini citizenship just a couple of weeks after moving there. Goes through 19 kilometers, does Kamworor, 54:56. He's got, what, 2 kilometers in, say, 5.5 minutes to go. He's going to be possibly just outside 60 minutes. I think 60 minutes is realistic today, and that would have been miraculous considering how slow the first half of this race was. But it doesn't matter, because sometimes it's you get too worried about records being set. We talk in athletics on the track and the roads about records, and you're setting yourself up for disappointment again and again. This has been rather refreshing today to see a tactical race unfold. And the fact we didn't see much in the first half of the race doesn't matter, because the news, folks, is it was very, very slow and there was a massive pack. It was much better to stay with that enthralling women's race in the closing stages.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the race really didn't start till well past 15 kilometres. Those positions that we were giving out at 15 kilometres will have changed enormously, because there was still a pack of 30 or so runners through 15 kilometres, and all of the racing has been done really in the last 6 kilometres of this race.
Well, that foreshortening effect made the gap look behind Kamworor relatively small. It's not massive. I don't think it's closing. There he is in the far distance, just tucked in behind that press truck with a camera on it. Cheroben in second place has eased past in that Bahraini vest, has eased past Yima in third. Working hard. He's got a strange running style, hasn't he? Slight lean to that head, it leans slightly to the left. Good long stride he's got. The arm action, though, is very unconventional, as indeed it is to Geoffrey Kamworor, really. The arms come up very high against his chest, more like a lot of the Kenyan women, the way he runs with his upper body. But the legs Well, they are going considerably faster, I can assure you. Huge crowds here. They're out. They've poured out onto the streets. In their thousands, the people of Valencia here today. It's lovely to see. They're running through a tunnel of people, the lead athletes in this men's half marathon championships.
Yeah, it's great to see, and they know they're witnessing something special here. And I think when they see Geoffrey Kamworor running past, and they've already seen a women's world record on the women's side, they're really getting to experience something. And then they probably have friends and family out running in the mass race as well, and they want to be encouraging them on to good performances here today. But just look at the facial expressions of Kamworor in contrast to Cheroben, and you can see how much harder Cheroben is working. His eyes are almost losing focus. They're trying to focus and to find Geoffrey Kamworor in front of him and to keep working on that. But Geoffrey Kamworor knows he has this. He has it under control. He's working hard, but he's also relaxed at the same time.
Well, he looks to be heading for title number 3 and the hat-trick to Geoffrey Kamworor. The only athlete who has ever won more than 2 titles consecutively was Ersne Tadesse of Eritrea, the world record holder, who lifted 4 consecutive titles in 2006, 2007, 2008 and 2009. And of course you could argue it's a little bit easier to get consecutive titles when they come at you every year. Remember, this is a biannual championships now. It's only every 2 years. Kamworor dominant from 2014 to 2018. That is some span. 5 years of dominance at the half marathon. And every reason to believe he'll go very quick this year as well.
13:01, that 5-kilometre split has come up on my computer. Now, either they've got the wind very, very much behind them, but he's certainly flying and moving very, very quickly, as are the others behind him as well. 13:14 for Cheroben and 13:24 for Kifle.
Well, that, if it's even remotely accurate, is one of the most astonishing statistics I've ever seen in a road race. He's just run the 5K, between 15K and 20K as Kamworor, here in Valencia, presumably with an absolute gale behind him, in 13:01, according to the information on our system. If that's the case, well, there's never, ever been anything close to that in the history of road racing at 10K or half marathon. Aron Kifle having a battle now. This is the battle for 3rd place. Kamworor is gone. Here he is, champion to be crowned once again in a few seconds' time. Cheroben in the background is going hell for leather to try and catch him, though. He's held on really well as Cheroben for Bahrain. They're going to take the silver. He's, about 60 metres down. But there's a fabulous battle between Kifle and Yima at the moment for the bronze medal. And they are closing in turn on Cheroben. I think they're all absolutely flying here. 200 metres to run for Geoffrey Kamworor. 59:30 on the clock as he went through that point. It's going to be so close to 60 minutes. He's been there before many times. He's a sub-59 performer. As we see Kamworor now in the home straight with about 150 to go. The battle is continuing. There's a battle royal unfolding for the bronze medal between Yima and Kifle. Kamworor punches the air in the city of the arts and sciences. He's loving it. He's smiling all the way as he approaches the tape. It's title number 3. 60 minutes just clicks by. That matters not a jot. 60:02, the unofficial winning time for the Kenyan, who has his hat-trick. Quite remarkable here in the Trinidad Alfonso Valencia 2018 World Half Marathon Championships. Cheroben hangs on for 2nd place. Sprints across the line, about 20 seconds down unofficially, 60:22. And Kifle takes the bronze for Eritrea. He wins that little dust-up for the minor medal, with Yima, the frustrated 4th, crossing the line there looking absolutely spent. Boy, oh boy. Geoffrey Kamworor letting it all pour out. Talk about wearing your heart in your sleeve there over the last 50 metres, punching the air, smiling to the big crowds here in the home straight as Mola comes home for 5th place. And they continue to cross the line. Mezel there, 6th place, Getahun of Ethiopia. There is Wanders. What a run from him. Unofficially in 8th place, I think. Osbilen, 9th place. Another Ethiopia, another Turk there for Europe. Gebreselassie, Ayalu. The top 10 are through. Julian Wanders, the top European, in 8th place. 61:03. Fabulous running from the young Swiss. The American there, Sam Chalanga, coming through.
Eritrea.